What's going on, guys? So I put out a video recently basically praising the minimalist lifestyle and advocating for it, but then going on to suggest 7 or 8 things that I think you guys should buy or check out that sort of make my life and my well-being a little bit better. You might have noticed that everything on that list was inside. Well, that has a very good reason. I'm not a house cat. I like to go outside too, but it was just garbage out for so long that I couldn't really go outside and film anything. So today, I want to take you guys outside into my world.
You want to see what my life is?
And show you the 7 or 8 things that I think you guys should buy that will make your relationship with nature that much better. It's just so good to get out there. You know, being in nature is so good for exercise. Psychological research is advancing our understanding of how time in nature can improve our mental health and sharpen our cognition. It's good for stress, anxiety, depression, you name it. You go outside, you spark creativity. It's such a good way to spend time with your family, and it's free. I love being outside. There's a few little tools and things that I like to use to make my time outdoors more enjoyable, and I want to show you guys what I think you should check out to spend more time in nature and have a better time doing it. Come on! But first, I'm gonna show you guys the first thing on this list. Alright, don't be nervous. This is what we're doing here. Everything is gonna be fine. This is the Arcade Adventure Belt. I wore this shirt so you guys wouldn't have to see my gut. Actually, it's a onesie and it clips. Just kidding. This is the Arcade Adventure Belt, guys. It is basically like an elastic seat belt, and it's a game changer. It makes my pants feel like sweatpants. It's great. I just think that this is good for anybody. This could be good for if you have men in your life over a certain age who are suffering from what they sometimes call vanishing ass syndrome, or frog ass, as I've heard it's been called. This is a lot better than trying to cinch up a leather belt. This thing can contract and give with you. You don't need any tension on it hardly at all. I'll show you. You know, it's barely tight at all. I buy these for gifts for everybody now, and a lot of people I've bought these for have gone out and bought additional ones in different colors because they love them so much too. Ask any of my friends. I am constantly trying to pitch this thing. I should be on the payroll for it, but this, like everything else in this video and everything else in the last video, I am not in any affiliation with. I have no relationship with any of these companies, sellers. They're just things that I love that I think you guys will love too. So come on, let's get out there. Safety first, always wear glasses. Guys, if I could pick one thing in my life that epitomizes that old saying that you get what you paid for, this axe is it. This is the best axe money can buy. It is a Gränsfors Bruks, hand forged in Sweden. This thing comes shaving sharp. It holds an edge ridiculously. If you are out in the woods and processing any type of firewood, you're gonna wanna get something like this. This one I like because it's small enough that it can be used as kind of a hatchet, limbing things, but it can also do the splitting work because of the shape of it. The head is original, but the handle is going to look a little bit different than this. A little bit shorter is the one you get with it. I actually snapped this handle. Learn the hard way, always oil your handles or they will dry out and snap. This one is going to run you well north of $200, but it's worth it. It will last longer than you ever will. And you can hand this down as an heirloom to future generations. Like I said, came shaving sharp, man, an absolute beauty. And the thing is just about as sharp as the day I got it. It's been through so much wood, and the edge is just insane. Beautiful, highly recommend it. If you're gonna ever get an axe, buy once, cry once. You're gonna love this. I don't really know what to say to you guys about this. If you guys don't own one of these portable amazing hammocks, I think you should write down in the comments why. I think you guys owe me an explanation, to be honest. This is one of the greatest things going on in life. You just throw this in a pack, maybe even a little pillow that folds up into nothing. Grab a book and get out there and just enjoy the outdoors, relax. I don't think it gets much better than that, so check these out. It takes about 2 minutes to set up, and man, you can put it anywhere. You just find 2 trees and take it from there. Try to pick one of these up because they're just incredible. Guys, if you like being outside, one of the best tools you can have in the woods, just like in the kitchen, is a nice knife. These knives are a little different, but they can get you out of a lot of situations. Processing firewood, food prep, you can do pretty much anything with these out in the woods. Why would anybody want to split wood up into very, very small pieces? Can I just use the axe for that? Sure, you can. I'm gonna give you the best reason to do that at the end of this video. But suffice to say, you're gonna wanna have a nice knife in the woods. I have a little bit of a problem with knives. Outdoor knives are sort of my weakness, but I'm gonna give you guys 3 examples today of ones that I all recommend, starting with this guy. This is the Ontario knife Rat 7. This knife is the cheapest on the list. It's an absolute workhorse. I've put it through its paces. 1095 steel, holds an edge okay, but it's really easy to sharpen, but it's an absolute beast. Second, the guys who designed that knife actually started to go off on their own and created Essie. Very, very similar knife, very similar shape. This one's a little bit smaller. You're gonna get a better handle, but this one comes with a lifetime warranty. You can do anything to this, no questions asked, they'll give you your money back. You can jam it in, smash it in half, break the tip off, and they're gonna replace this. There's very few other companies that have that, and this knife is absolutely amazing. Same steel, I believe, is the Ontario, but a lot more comfortable, and I think that you're paying for that warranty to a degree, but you don't have to worry about babying it at all because you're never gonna break it. That one, I think, is 80 or 90 right now, and this one runs about 130. The sheath this one comes with is garbage in my opinion, so I got a custom one made. But absolute beauty. And if you really have a knife problem, a very similar knife but even higher up the quality scale, this is your Reef Knives F6 Leicu. 3V steel, one of the strongest ones they make, and this one also has that one of those beefy, no questions asked warranties. Very similar knife, beautiful. This thing, I could shave my neck with it when I got it, and then I processed a bunch of wood like this and I could still shave with it. So I've never seen a knife like this, guys. You're gonna pay for it, like I said before, you're gonna pay for what you get. This one will run you almost 400 bucks, but if I had to take one knife with me, if stuff got really, really weird and I had to survive, this is the guy. Get a nice knife, it'll be your best friend in the woods. Make those delicious camp meals, start those beautiful fires, and have a great time with friends and family. So we're back inside for a minute because I just want to take a minute to discuss something that's very important to me. I think it's really important to have empathy and to practice empathy in life and to understand where other people are coming from. And I know where you guys are coming from. Nobody wants to watch a YouTube video about socks, but I can't make this video without talking about these, all right? So bear with me. This one's gonna be quick. These are Darn Tough socks. That's the name of them, and they are darn tough. In fact, they have a warranty, just like the knives I showed you guys, where if you wear these out or get a hole in these socks, they'll replace them for life, no receipt, for free. That's insane. I've been trying to wear these things out. I wear them every single day in the winter. They're amazing. They're the only sock that keeps you really, really warm, but also doesn't get baggy, that I have found. I am very passionate about socks, as you guys can tell. I appreciate you indulging me. And if you buy one thing on this list, get these Darn Tough socks in your life right now. If you're gonna live somewhere where you gotta deal with this white bullshit all the time, you might as well get out and enjoy it. You gotta scrape it off your car every morning. You gotta shovel your driveway. It gets to be a pain. The sun's not out, but sometimes it is out. Yeah, it's gonna be cold, but it's just so nice to get out there and enjoy this stuff, get a little fresh air. It's awesome to get out in the woods when you have that nice fresh powder. And I just think having a way to enjoy it is one of the best things you can do in the winter to get through. It gives you something to look forward to on these like cloudy, weird days. I paid 30 bucks for these boys, and even if you only get to use them a few times a year, it just makes the winter go by a lot better and a lot more enjoyable. It's a pretty cheap new hobby, and you might just find something that you'll enjoy in winter. It's not that bad. You might not have to move to Florida after all. So maybe just check these out, find yourself a nice woods trail that you enjoy the rest of the year, and get out there. One of my favorite things to do outside is to go camping. There's just something about being out there and living outside for a few days that just sort of brings you back to, you know, where we all came from, which is just natural wild animals. It's also just really fun to practice being uncomfortable, right? You're out there, you're doing all the things you do at home, well, a lot of them, you know, cooking, preparing food, living, building shelter, building a nice bed, but you know, you're doing it without the creature comforts of home. So I just absolutely love it, and I could bring you guys through a whole list of camping gear that I love, but I want to show you guys one thing. I want to bring you into my world, into my life, and show you what is in my ditty bag. So first of all, I just put all my little stuff in a waterproof bag, and then I just shove this in my pack. That way I know where all the tiny stuff is when I'm out there. You know, it gets dark and I don't know where anything is. So real quickly here, we have Swiss Army knife, lighter, fire starter, little medical kit, emergency blanket, backup headlamp. This is just some extra cordage with a bag attached to it. If you think there are gonna be bears around, you just put a rock in that, throw it over a tree limb, and then pull it up. You don't want bears around. This is just a little light bag. You can put a headlamp in there and hang it from the top of your tent. Fire starter. These two things we'll focus on. First of all, this is the O-Light O-Bulb. You've probably seen this in some of my other videos, but it's just a cool little light, clicks on and off. It's waterproof. You can put this anywhere around the campsite. They're awesome at home. You can, you know, for a little bed light, you can throw this right in the bathtub if you want to get real weird with it. So these are really cool to have. And this is probably my favorite little piece of gear. I like to introduce redundancy into my systems. So I like tools that are small and also serve multiple purposes. So this is the Flex Tail Gear little mini pump, and what it is a it's an inflation device to pump up your sleeping pads. You don't want to blow into those things because it wears you out and it gets moisture inside your bag, and it'll get gross, and two, it'll become cold more easily. This is also a light. You can hang this with this little cord, or this little wire from the top of the tent. And it's a power source, so you can charge your phone from this thing. Finally, you can turn it on and really get a fire started quickly by blowing on the coals. So really cool thing to have. If you're into camping, I suggest you pick one of those up. Keep all your stuff in a ditty bag. So the reason you would want to split wood into very small pieces is because of this little guy right here. This is a Spitfire rocket stove, and this thing allows you to make amazing meals outside. If you like to cook and you like to be outdoors, why not do two things at the same time? It's also really good for peace of mind. It's good to know that you could build a fire and cook food over it without having to worry about fuel. You know, if God forbid something did happen to the grid, if you, for example, live in a country that may or may not be in kind of a proxy war with one of the biggest hacking nations on earth, you know, who knows? I'm not an expert on these things, but it's nice to have the peace of mind and know that you could cook food if you had to, if something happened with the grid. They told us a couple years ago that there would never be a problem with the food supply chain, and then I don't know if you guys went to the grocery store during those times, but it was a little uneasy. So at least if we can get the food, we can figure out how to cook it, and we'll figure it out. But in the meantime, this is an excellent thing to have to enjoy the outdoors, spend time with family, and I'm going to show you what it's all about. So if you add all these things up, it might look like what it amounts to is just a bunch of frivolous spending. But what I'm trying to go for here is a more mindful form of consumerism overall. People might pick up on the apparent contradiction of giving you guys a list of things to go out and buy, but then espousing minimalism on the other hand. First of all, I do think there is a part of minimalism that revolves around buying the best of something but buying very few things. More importantly, each and everything on this list motivates me to get outside and live a healthy lifestyle, and I hope it motivates some of you guys to get out and live an active lifestyle too. The best nap you can take in that hammock, for example, is at the top of a hill after a nice long uphill hike. Finally, I just wanted to reiterate the mental health benefits of spending time outdoors. I think we can consider any one of the tools and toys that I've shown you guys today as a means to an end to get up and get out and live a healthy, active, enjoyable life outside and enjoy the world we live in. Thank you guys for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe, and please let me know in the comments if there's anything on this list that you have, anything that I missed, and I'm happy to answer questions on any of these things down in the comments below, so definitely happy to start the conversation. I appreciate you guys watching, and get out there and enjoy the great outdoors. Peace.